you're watching on DSTV and GOTV, you can find us there on GOTV channel 320 and of course on DSTV channel 372. Well, of course, what a good way to start your day as you get inspired. Let's first get into it. We shall be right back. Well, of course, if you didn't know, working hard also revolves around how much you eat. Yeah. So if you're going to work hard, have a glass of water, have your snacks, G-nuts, crisps, have something.
All the time.
Snack, because I mean, it's exhausting mostly when you're using the brain. It's really exhausting, even on the body. Even the body, you can, sit down for a few minutes and rest. But for the head, if you're using your head, you're thinking, you need to bring back the energy, you need to be eating, you need to be hydrating. So the mission this year is to be hydrated.
Yeah. Take a lot
because
of fluids,
stress is one factor that is leading to mental illness or unstable. It's for people to be unstable mentally. So please hydrate, take a break, take a snack. It's really okay. I don't think your boss is gonna be like, why do you have snacks in the office?
It's like using a machine, like day in, day out. You have to at least put it off, at least for even if it's 5 minutes a day. You have to at least turn it off.
The goal is not to faint this year, so please hydrate. Have something that you
do
love.
It all.
Have something that you enjoy, whether it's coffee, have it right there. If it's
a glass of juice,
a glass of juice. If you like G-nuts,
but mainly water.
Okay, mainly water.
Water.
Hydration is really key. You may eat, but if you're not hydrated, trust me, you're gonna black out at the end of the day. So we need the blood running so that you can work and be able to deliver. I've been telling people.
And when you're healthy, when you're in good shape, you're able to produce.
Production.
You're more productive when you're healthy.
So and of course the other thing is to trust yourself.
Know that you can make it.
Yes. Know that you can make it. You got this. You have all it takes. Look yourself in the mirror. Better the
Every
theory.
morning.
The theory works. I do it. It works.
The daily affirmation.
Yeah. Look yourself in the mirror. Question yourself. Ask yourself. Assume you're being interviewed about you on TV on your set.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would you say that would inspire someone out there? I believe every day when I wake up in the morning, I think to myself, what is the one thing that I'm going to do today that is gonna inspire someone? It could be through what you say, through your smile, the way you socialize with people, the way your behavior. Yeah. So do something. Trust that you have the ability. Yeah. Loosen up. Be bold. I tell people, boldness is not, you're not bold because you know.
And it's not like you're being bold. You know, people think that being bold is being bossy.
People have
But
sustained.
it's not being bossy.
Actually, people have sustained being in certain places because they're bold, not because they know, but they are bold.
And they're able to speak
being
out.
bold, yes, they speak out, but being bold doesn't mean that you have to be abusive. You know, you have to, disrespect. You know, be bold and say what you feel like you have to say. What is right? What is right? I mean, first, even if it's wrong, with confidence and boldness, someone is gonna say something wrong, and they're bold about it.
They still stand and defend whatever they're saying.
Well, that is it for our inspirational moment. Yeah, so believe in yourself and you can achieve greatness. Well, we're still into the road of now. Well, we've seen how the government is targeting almost billions of money through investment. Of course, when it talk about tourism, trade, mostly investment, infrastructure development, real estate as well. Because I mean, Uganda have started actually having interest in real estate. I think very many.
Yesterday we looked at the smart homes coming in.
Smart homes.
So asking people, are they ready for such transformation?
Now, some of the pillars of Ugandan foreign policies, we have regional peace and security. And of course, for East Africa, you can actually spearhead when it comes to regional peace and security. At least
our peace has
I've not had scandals since, for Kenya. We've seen Kenya last year was on strike, and of course the political instabilities that were happening in Kenya, and of course Uganda plays a role in maintaining stability in East Africa and Central Africa.
Yeah.
Of course, it has been involved in peacekeeping missions in South Sudan, Somalia, and of course, you've seen troops going in to fight some of the rebels in
Somalia, even in South Sudan.
Yeah, and the like. So definitely, at least for peace and security, I know. No security for Uganda these days has not been, because we've been having a few attacks, one way or the other. But I believe when the president came and spoke, and we just have mini detonation of bombs that were expected to blow up number of people, and of course we also have regional integration and international cooperation. Yes, Uganda is partisan in regional integration
in the
East African community.
We've also seen it in IGAD.
Yes, so definitely at least there, we have a say. Then in terms of promoting, boosting trade, infrastructure, and of course political cooperation among East African countries. Yeah, at least we are there. And of course, it also fosters cooperation with international organizations like the United Nations. We have the World Bank, the IMF, to access development assistance and address global challenges. So at least we could say for Uganda, not so bad. Yeah, but of course, when it comes to peacemaking, at least I know. Yeah, for peacemaking, it's there.
Now, talking about Uganda's foreign policy, there is no way we can talk about our foreign policy and we fail to talk about the Ministry of Internal, Affairs, because we very well know, Foreign Affairs, because we know that is the government agency that is charged with implementation of the Uganda's foreign policy. Now, with our foreign policy, we are putting out our domestic policies. We are projecting them onto the global, the outside world. And you talked about the cores of our foreign policy, which is regional and international security. Then you talked about the cooperations and integration. Then you talked about trade and investment. And it's true, because we could see, talking about investment itself, we've seen China funding most of our, investments when it comes to infrastructure, the roads. We've seen the hydroelectric power projects in Kayunga. I think it was Isimba or something. Yeah, it was funded by Chinese. And actually, China, I think, is one of the top guys that fund us.
Oh yeah, for Uganda at least, the when it comes to infrastructure development,
yes,
China is everywhere. I believe even these roads recently,
even most of the investors we have
because
here.
I believe China actually had to send out people for training, driving.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Skilling drivers. Ahead of NAM.
Ahead of NAM.
Yes. So definitely China is doing tremendous, not only in Uganda, but also because At some point, you realize the US relaxed because the US was known to originally. Its mission was to, to help developing countries,
Yes.
come up and grow economically. So when they relaxed, China came and used it as an advantage. Because they were well versed with technology, which we were backward. Trust me, very backward. They came up with phones. I mean, they came up with equipment. If you see most of the equipment, you see China made in China. So definitely, the moment a certain superpower relaxes, the other one is automatically elevating.
Going to come in.
Yes.
Because all of them want to dominate, by the way.
So we think even Russia also coming in slowly. Russia is also dominating slowly. Yeah. So when they had the Russia summit with African countries, it also offered some assistance of aid and mostly food, for those that are reliant on wheat and oil. So definitely, BRICS is making sure it dominates. Yeah. Even India is really rich.
It's also rich.
It is actually a rich nation. So definitely, I believe we could learn a few
from such states.
Yeah.
And talking about still foreign policy, there is no way we talk about foreign policy and we do not talk about resource mobilization. It has been key, more especially for a country like Uganda. We usually, mobilize our funds and resources from abroad because our, fiscal policies and all that, with that, given the taxes that are collected, that is now the revenue. We don't have enough funds to finance our budgets. So what we do is opt for the, foreign aid and all that. And I feel like
you could imagine actually our very own budget. We are borrowing for on budget.
Yes, we are.
So it's really
borrowing.
We are borrowing. So I don't know if the next financial year we intend to borrow.
Yeah.
Very soon we're going to be sued. I don't know. I don't know, because the more we borrow, the more we
more we accumulate debt.
We accumulate debt, and of course they use it to our advantage, to their advantage. I mean, what is it that they're going to take from us that we can offer to cover up for the debt?
Obviously, the taxes are going to be high.
The taxes are going to be high at the end of the day. They will need something in exchange. Yeah. First of all, we are banned from AGOA, so China is going to be coming in a lot to offer assistance. Of course, for China, it's a transaction.
It's a transaction.
You give me this, I give you that.
Exactly.
Simple. But of course, the only thing that has failed Uganda, as we are transacting, let's get skills, something we can learn from this. Because at the end of the day, are we able to sustain the infrastructure developments that have been set in place? Yeah. There is also giving us assistance, but sustainability is also an issue. I mean, can we be able to construct the roads ourselves without China? Can we be able to carry out technology without China?
Because at the end of the day, they do influence the way our policies are made.
So you can imagine that at the end of the day, we are rich in minerals that are actually responsible for making electric cars, uranium. But how are we making use of it? Can we also make our own batteries? I mean, people who have gone and taken tours in China, in Malaysia, those countries that are known to have technology, well versed in technology, what do we go to do? Do we go for vacations? We go to the Maldives and, sip cocktails? No. We have, I mean, it's also good, but then at the end of the day, as if you go as a diplomat, I believe you have to come with something that you have learned. I mean, go to places like Egypt, go to places like Israel. Those are in sub-Saharan Africa, deserts. But then they have technology that has helped them over years when it comes to agriculture. I mean, the irrigation system is insanely beautiful. Yeah, so we are rich with good climate. Though recently the seasons have been changing, but why are we not performing as we expected as a country?
Yeah.
Why? Because people are growing still in subsistence farming. Yeah, they've not yet embraced commercialization of agriculture. So those are one of the hindrances, and I believe When it comes to
Tourism.
at least for tourism, I believe
We've tried.
Yeah,
And now with the summit, the upcoming summit, NAM and G77, I believe it will even be more, boosted the more, because we're having people coming in. And we are selling out our country to them. So I believe this is also going to, enhance our tourism sector. Then still talking about our foreign policy, you talked about some of the core areas that rotate about, around Uganda's foreign policy. You talked about regional integration and international cooperation. Remember, member states are coming in. We have countries like China, Egypt, all those countries are coming in. We have people from the different countries coming in. How is it going to help Uganda? How are we going to make sure that we strengthen the bonds with these other states that are coming in? And how are we benefiting from them? I feel like right now we need to
I feel like the reason as why we did not achieve is because we do not have what to offer. I mean, we're going to talk about, because the thing we've been talking about is milk, coffee.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they have, maybe they could be having, I mean, okay, fine, they have people, they import the milk or maybe coffee, but what is that different thing that we're gonna bring? I mean, almost every country in Africa, actually, we saw the performance we're seeing the performance when it comes to tobacco, and of course, tobacco growing, and of course, Tanzania comes in number 2 in Africa with tons of tobacco being exported, and Uganda comes in number 6. At least the performance is not that bad. So, what difference are we bringing to them? They are having other products similar to ours. So, if you're talking about coffee, what is that uniqueness that what does your coffee have that is so unique from the ones that they have been importing?
Yeah, maybe if we do put aside maybe the products, I believe we have much to offer. Because I'm not going to go to, a country like Chinese are not going to come in here and I'm going to show them, fine, I'll show them the coffee that we do have, but at least at the end of the day, I need to, give them something that's more visible. So I think here we can embrace tourism. We could show them, we've been blessed with, vast land. We could tell them, you can come and set up your industries here. You can come and and remember, the moment they start setting up industries here, in the long run, employment comes in, all the advantages that come with industrialization. So if we could at least, we can't sit back and be like, we have nothing to offer, because the member states that are coming in and they do have maybe high quality, more value added coffee compared to ours. But still, we need to sit down and focus, because with Uganda mainly, our main driver is what we concentrate mainly on when it comes to terms of foreign policy is regional cooperation, and the mere fact that we are landlocked. It's a landlocked country. We have to entirely, rely on these guys, because we have countries that have ports. So obviously, I have to come in. We as a country, we have to come in and make sure that we have connections and we're in good terms. We make relations with such countries that are not landlocked, because we need them. At the end of the day, we need them. So we could mainly look at these things, and we have things to offer. We could show them our game parks and all that, take them there for tours, or we could bring out, how do they call it, a list of things. It's good to plan. When I bring a proposal, when I come to you and I'm like, Masi, I need 500 million. In your mind, you're going to be like, why do you need this money? But if I start to tell you, Masi, I want to do this, and I'm stammering, I'm like, just thinking at that point, after telling you I need that money, that is the point I'm starting to, think about what I want to do. And I'm just gambling. But the moment I come to you and I'm like, Masi, I need 500 million. First question will be, what are you going to use that money for?
No. Of course,
I'll obviously come and I have a list of. I tell you, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Or you could also help me with this. The moment you see that a person has brought out their vision or their, you're able to fund such a person if you have the ability to do so. So now with the upcoming summits, I feel like we need to put out, in as much as we might say that, okay, our products are, substandard and, and all that. But then what do we want? Give them, exactly, your interests. Put out your interests. Show your interest. I want to do this, I want to do this. And let them be able to, fund, because I believe we have very many member states that are going to be in position to, be able to, they can fund us ably. Or we could even, now that we have the NAM coming in, they're going to look at the economic and political interests of the member states. And then it's key that they have to, select and see, okay, which states have, maybe share the same, have the same, interests in common. Now, imagine we are put under a category like countries like Egypt and all that. So now the major countries that we have under NAM, like China, they'll be able to, Venezuela, they'll be able to, come in and support us. Because at the end of the day,
I think we have strong trade relations in the South. Mostly in the South, China and India, at least we are well, because they have a bigger markets, so we need them one way or the other, for the benefit of most of our trade, because they have most of the things that we need. So definitely more conversations rotating to the road of NAM. We can't exhaust it all. And of course we shall be having someone to come in and expound more on the whole idea of foreign policies of Uganda and how we can use them to make sure that we can have a rich Uganda in terms of trade, in terms of tourism, and of course embracing the African Continental Free Trade Area. We've seen Kenya do it, so how about we have bilateral talks with them so that they can give us knowledge.
I know, so we're looking forward to see things like agreements and treaties being signed after the NAM summit. We want to see such agreements between states. And let them come in and help us, because we really need that aid. Okay, not necessarily aid, but we need to do such, deals this season.
Well, that is it. 27 minutes past 8 a.m. And of course, you're still watching Smart Men Space as well. We're gonna go for a short break and of course have a warm cup of tea, it's a very chill morning. Well, we shall be right back with entertainment and sports business.